why is the compact luxury crossover SUV segment becoming so popular nowadays? Well, it's because car shoppers clearly find these models' size, ride height, fuel economy, and premium cabins to be a just right recipe. The Lexus RX 350 isn't far north of the segment's average size and price range, but the company felt there was room for another, more directly aimed contender. Its name is the 2015 Lexus NX200t. So, let's go ahead and check it out. Now, when I first saw the NX in photos and videos, I thought it was quite sinister looking and quite weird looking too, but to be honest, it has grown on me and it looks much better in person. It's a very stylish and daring looking exterior design here, and you do have Lexus's spindle grille design, which is included on all of their vehicles in their lineup. But overall, I think it's a quite striking looking exterior. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. Typical Lexus Toyota key here. Nothing too fancy about it, but it does look a little more premium than the average Toyota Smart Key. You do have your lock, unlock, and then your panic button right here, and then to release your tailgate. Now it's also in this pretty good looking eminent white exterior color, and then you also do get some pretty good looking 18-inch alloy wheels, and we don't even have an F-Sport package here. Now you do have smart key access on all four doors. Comes in a two-toned beige and black leather interior. Power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar too. Now stepping on into the NX here, as you can see, it's a very premium cabin design. It's a Lexus, of course. And the cabin design does take some inspiration from the recently redesigned IS sports sedan. Now, of course, you do have push button ignition. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. Of course, you have a full leather-wrapped steering wheel, and I love the design of it. It has a decent grip to it. Now, coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. No paddle shifters here though. And then putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance lines, and then trajectory as well. And then you also do have rear cross traffic alert, and when you put the vehicle into reverse, the mirrors will actually tilt down. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window in the NX. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors, of course, with LED turn signal indicators. And you also do have blind spot monitoring. LED headlamps for your low beams and halogen for your high beams. LED daytime running lights with Lexus's signature Nike checkmark design, and LED turn signal indicators and LED fog lights too. Now under the hood here, you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo powertrain producing 235 horsepower at 4,800 RPM. with 258 pound-feet of torque at 1650 RPM, with EPA estimates being an okay 22 in the city and 28 on the highway, with all-wheel drive being optional. And then your only gearbox is actually the 6-speed automatic. Overall, it's a very smooth and quiet engine. And then you can also get a hybrid on the NX. Now, competitors of the NX, you have the Audi Q3, and then maybe also the Mercedes-Benz GLK, and then also the BMW X1. Now, pricing of the NX starts at the base model, which starts at $34,480, And then you have the F Sport, which starts at $36,580. Now this particular one we have here costs about $44,747. And like I said, EPA estimates are 22 in the city and 28 on the highway. Very stylish taillight designs here, taking inspiration from the IS. LED tail lamps with rear parking sensors, dual exhaust tips, rear window wiper with a rear window defroster too. Love the styling of the NX. Power windows, power door locks, power exterior mirrors of course. Your memory seat settings are located right here. Nice soft touch armrest with nice stitching too. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Overall, it's a pretty quiet powertrain, but that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing because this SUV is intended to be used for comfort and quietness. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of the NX here, it has very impeccable construction and it's very well built and put together. You have nice soft touch materials on the upper door panel, nice and stitched, but it's not overly padded and it feels, you know, just right. It feels really solid, and that's what I really like about that. And then you have a really nicely padded armrest, and then up here it's slightly padded, but it has very tight construction and everything is very well put together. Toyota puts their best parts inside of Lexus vehicles. And then you also do have nice stitching that goes throughout the whole entire dashboard. There's a lot of stitching in this car, so if you're a big fan of that, you'll definitely love the cabin design of the NX. Then also it's nicely padded right here where you might hit your knees, and then on the armrest for this is also nicely padded. So overall, the build quality and materials are exquisite in the NX. Now also what I really like about this cabin design is that it looks pretty futuristic with all the shapes going on here and how this like swoops back. It looks pretty interesting and very unique. Now coming down here, this is where you will actually find your main controller for your infotainment system, Lexus Inform system, which I will get to in just a second. And then it's also nicely padded right here where you might rest your hand to get to the touchpad. And then right here you also do have a little storage cubby right there. And then coming down here is where you'll also find your auxiliary input, a USB port, and a 12-volt power outlet, and decent amount of storage. And then you have your cup holders right here, auto dimming rearview mirror with garage home link, SOS safety connect, your sunroof with your sunroof controls, but I'm not going to open it because it's sprinkling right now. And then you also do have LED interior lights. Now coming down here is where you will find your blind spot detection, and then also you have your parking sensors button, and then your power tailgate, heated steering wheel, and your differential locking. Now coming down here, this is your driver selectable modes, which I will get to more in depth later in the video. You have your traction control off button right there, your electronic parking brake, and then right here you have your volume button, and then your media, radio, and then your tune and scroll knob is right here. But I do have a little minor gripe, is that the shifter can get in the way if you're actually trying to reach the tune and scroll knob. And then you have your CD player right here. And then coming right here, you have all of your climate controls and then your heated and cooled seats for the driver and the passenger. And then right here you have your front window defroster, rear window defroster, heated exterior side mirrors, dual zone automatic climate control. Now I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't put the touch sensitive buttons that they used from the IS. I thought that was pretty neat, and it worked pretty well too. And then you have your fan speeds right here, and then a classy looking analog clock. Now coming to the main infotainment system here, you have Lexus Inform System, and then basically it's all controlled by this touchpad like I said earlier in the video. And then if you want to click on something, basically you can tap down on it like that, or you can double tap it like that. Now coming to the main menu here, you have your climate if you don't want to control it from right there. And then you have your nav, your Lexus app suite, info, setup, phone, your different media, and then your radio. And then coming to your media, you have AM, FM, satellite radio, your CD player, USB port, iPod integration, Bluetooth streaming audio, iHeartRadio, Pandora Internet Radio, and Slacker Internet Radio. And all the internet radios you can access from your smartphone data connection. And then you have your auxiliary jack, and then your AV jack as well. And then coming to your Lexus app suite, basically through your smartphone data connection you can access all of these various apps such as Facebook Places, Yelp, Pandora again, and then your movietickets.com, many different apps, and then sports, stocks, and then fuel guide too. And then coming to info, you have your traffic incidents, which you don't need a subscription for, and then you have your weather, Lexus Insider, which is like Lexus News, and then fuel consumption data. Overall, I think it's a pretty easy to use system once you get used to it. It takes a little while to get used to, but you can get used to it pretty easily. And then you have your setup for your settings, many different settings you can change on here. And then you can change the display as well, like the camera, various things. And then coming to your home button right here, you can actually configure your home screen. If you want, you could change the layout of it and then display what information is on there, such as the climate, the nav, or the fuel consumption. And then you could change if you want 3 of them to be displayed or just 2. Now coming to your nav, it's pretty easy to use. And then you have your traffic information that displays on here. And what's also pretty cool is that it's kind of like an iPhone or iPad. If you want to zoom in or out, you just go like this. Pretty easy. And then also you can enter in the destination by voice. You also do have 3D rendering of buildings. You can change the map mode.
Eastbound Arden Way at Howe Avenue stopped traffic.
And then you have your address, points of interest, web search, destination assist, which you can actually talk to a live person, which is pretty cool. Previous destinations, address book, emergency, and then your mapping coordinates. Pretty nice. So overall, I really do love the Lexus Inform system. However, they can just make it a little tad bigger, as some competitors do have bigger screens, but it's a very simple and easy to use system once you get used to it. Now coming to your steering wheel design, I love the steering wheel design quite a lot. You have your Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and then your steering wheel mounted audio controls. And then this also controls your Lexus Inform system. And then coming over here, this controls your little center screen, which I'll get to in just a second. And then you have your cruise control stock right here. Now also, I really do love how the climate controls are very high up and easy to reach and see. Now coming to the seat designs, very nice buttery soft leather, just like how a Lexus is, and the seats are very comfortable. But usually Lexuses don't have really superb side bolstering that you will find in other vehicles, but the NX has really good side bolstering while not giving up too much comfort, and it's still in a very nice buttery soft leather, which I love. And I really love the seats a lot in the NX. Now, as far as visibility goes out of this vehicle, I'd say the outward visibility is pretty good. The A-pillar is slightly thick, however, but there's a lot of glass area on the sides right here. And then, however, rearward visibility can be a little bit better, but this is a luxury compact crossover here. Now, if you're expecting the 2015 NX200t to drive like a smaller version of the RX, you're either going to be disappointed or pleasantly surprised. The ride is a bit firmer, the steering is more responsive, and body motions are more controlled when driving around turns or going over bumps and dips. There is a sense of connection between the car and driver that is not present in Lexus's other SUVs, as well as some rival crossovers. Even more engagement can be found in the F-Sport model, courtesy of its more sharply tuned suspension, paddle shifters, extra gauges, and immediately extraneous active sound control that pumps artificial engine noise into the cabin. Now, coming to the gauges here, love the gauges, nice crisp and clear illumination, of course, just how a Lexus should be. And then I love the little center screen. Basically, you can change your different media sources, and then it shows you your warnings, and then your exterior temperature readout as well, and trip odometer, and then your direction of travel, and then your fuel economy range, and then your eco indicator, and then your tire pressure, and then your fuel economy data too. Now, coming to the different driver selectable modes, you have a sport mode, which lets you know up here, and then it illuminates in red. And then you have your eco mode, which it illuminates in blue, and then normal is just blank. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the NX. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of this crossover and see how the rear seat leg space is, as well as the cargo capacity. You have your power tailgate located right here. Now, since this is a compact crossover, the utility isn't as great as you would find in the larger RX. But that's to be expected when you buy a smaller SUV here. But at least the rear seats do fold down to maximize cargo space. And then you have your cargo net right here, and then a first aid kit. Now, of course, build quality and materials all do follow through in the rear. This is a Lexus here. But what I'm quite surprised at is that they do give you manually second row reclining seats. And usually you don't find that on SUVs of this kind of size here. Now, sitting back here, I have the driving position to where my driving position would be at. I'm about 5'11", and it's quite roomy back here, I have to say. There's a decent amount of shoulder room. Headroom is also plentiful, there's lots of it. And then legroom, I have a decent amount to spare too. I actually expected it to be a little bit more cramped, but I have lots of room back here. Usually when you buy a compact, small crossover SUV, you expect it to be pretty small, but that's not the case here. You have dual map pockets too, rear air vents, and a center armrest with cup holders. And the seats are fairly comfortable too. Still, you have this nice soft buttery leather. Alright. Powered passenger seat with power recline. Glove box compartment, lightweight felt, nice and damp too. Alrighty. Now, the 2015 Lexus NX200t is definitely a welcome new entry to the small luxury crossover segment. It's probably not the best choice for family-oriented use due to its small cargo capacity, but its stylish looks and high-tech interior and a very luxurious interior will be draws for everybody else. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.